And breaking right now, hundreds of thousands of acres are burning. At least 2 lives have been taken, hundreds of homes destroyed, and thousands of people evacuating. Multiple counties are in a state of emergency. The wildfires in Oregon are ravaging the state, and right now, there's no sign that they are letting up. Good morning on this Thursday, September 10th here on AM Extra. I'm Jenny Hansen.
And I'm Ken Body. Right now, thousands of firefighters are battling blazes across the state, and we have team coverage of the wildfires. Kelly Bayern tracking the air quality and the winds. Cora Harlan is in Marion County, not far from the Beachy Creek fire, and Melody Gonzalez is in studio keeping track of evacuations in Lincoln and Tillamook County. But first, we start with Elise Haas, who's in Clackamas County, where evacuations were expanded overnight. Elise?
Ken, so here in Estacada is the most imminent area, and we were actually just a little bit further down the road where we were seeing flames up into the treetops. So fire crews are now rushing that way to start protecting the homes along Cadanaw Road, but the fire is really intense. Take a look at this new video that deputies sent us to give you an idea of how hot this blaze is burning right down Highway 224. So the Riverside fire is the largest fire burning right now in Clackamas County at 112,000 acres. That's impacting the Hill-Cockburn community. The Riverside fire is not contained. The Dowdy fire is burning at 2,200 acres, but is 10 to 15% contained this morning. The Unger Road fire has burned nearly 1,000 acres, while the Wilhoit fire in Malala is burning at nearly 600 acres this morning, but is 10 to 15% contained. So like Ken was mentioning, evacuations have expanded. The latest expansion has been everything along Eden Road west to South Harding Road is now in the evacuation zone. This map here gives you a better idea, showing you that red is level 3, go now. Those who are in yellow, level 2, you need to get set. And everyone in level 1, green, you need to be ready. So again, this includes all of Estacada, parts of Oregon City, the Colton area, the Malala area. There are just dozens of fires burning throughout this entire region right now. Of course, the 4 in Clackamas County are the ones that are currently threatening people's homes. So we here, coming back out here live, just to make sure you can see how thick the smoke is. And yet again, right over these treetops behind me is where that fire is currently burning. There are so many firefighters who are working really hard. We've seen water tenders rushing this way just to try and put out this blaze. But again, we are seeing the last bit of residents heading out of Estacada right now. We'll continue to bring you more information as we learn it. Reporting live in Estacada, Elise Haas, KOI News AM Extra.
Thank you, Elise. Good job out there this morning. We are learning more about the 2 people who have been killed by wildfires in Oregon. We're told it was a young boy and his grandmother in Lyons.
Yeah, just a tragic story. Now, the family tells us that 12-year-old Wyatt Tofty and his grandmother, Peggy Masso, were trying to escape when they were overtaken by flames. Volunteers arrived by the dozens to help look for the 12-year-old who had been reported as missing.
Sad, horrible, goosebumps. People came from everywhere to search for him. It's horrible. I couldn't imagine having 12-year-old girls. They're twins. It's horrible.
Off camera, Wyatt's father told us that he went in to look for his family, but was met with flames. He eventually found his wife, who is reportedly in critical condition.
Right now, the Beachy fire near Salem and Marion County has grown to almost 160,000 acres. And that is forcing families from their homes.
That's right. Cora Harlan is in Staten this morning, right near some of the evacuation zones. And Cora, what's the latest?
Well, we're not far from Lyons, actually, where this young boy and his grandmother perished yesterday in the fire. And based on what we're hearing from the governor yesterday and a Sublimity City Council person I talked with earlier this morning, get ready for more of this type of revelations here as search and rescue crews are able to finally here in the next several days get through the fire lines and get in there and do what they do, search and rescue. And don't be surprised if the number of structures destroyed runs well into the dozens, possibly even into the hundreds up here in the Santiam River Valley to the east of me here. And sadly, the loss of life as well is an issue. The city council person told me that a lot of folks did not heed the level 3 warnings to go now in the advance of the fire. And sadly, the governor, if you read between the lines of her remarks yesterday, may be preparing Oregonians for some very grim death numbers in the days and the weeks ahead. We'll see how all of that goes there, but that is what's on the horizon. As for now, here this morning at sunrise in Staten, the smoke is down. There is zero wind to speak of right now. That has the effect of keeping the smoke where it is, but it also does not push the fire any further to the west, and that is great news for a lot of people living in the Silver Falls State Park area, the Lyons area, and all the rest of these western flanks of the fire. It has been spotting out to the west as it's been blown from east to west, but again, without the wind today, some of those spot fires may not be an issue, and it may allow firefighters a little bit easier time to get a containment line around this and finally, hopefully, maybe someday, get this turned around and put down. An early morning check of the Northwest Coordination Center wildfire situation map shows the fire burning as far west as the outskirts of Lyons and Silver Falls State Park, both of those areas in level 3 alerts. That is a go now alert. The town of Sublimity and Staten, where we are now, are on level 2 meant to stand by for an evacuation. And again, the remarkable explosion is what a lot of people will be talking about here for years and years to come. This blaze that started up towards the Cascade Crest, up in the far eastern reaches of Marion County and over into Deschutes County, blew down the valley here, going from just a couple of thousand acres to well over 250, approaching 300,000 acres, again with some spot fires out in front of it here. The fire smoldering and burning just a few miles to the east of us here, but a lot of people are relieved this morning, Jenny and Ken, that there is no wind blowing this morning, and that is likely what caused this blaze just to explode from almost nothing into an inferno in a matter of about 2 days.
We're looking at what you've got going on there behind you, and just really smoky out there.
The skies have been crazy. Well, you know, right now several parts of Tillamook and Lincoln County are under evacuation orders due to wildfires.
We've got Melody Gonzalez joining us right now with an update on those areas. Melody?
Ken and Jenny, Lincoln City remains under an evacuation order. Most of the city, including all of East Devils Lake Road and Northwest 40th North to Highway 18th from Ocean to East Devils Lake Road, is under a level 3 evacuation order, which is directive to leave immediately. According to officials, a 16-mile section of Highway 101 around Lincoln City is closed to allow evacuees to get out from Gillette's Highway to the Highway 18 intersection. Highway 18 is then closed for the next 6 miles towards Otis. Officials remind people to drive on paved roads and warn that starting and driving cars on dried grass can start fires and to make things worse. An evacuation point is at Newport Recreation Center in Newport. The Echo Mountain Fire is just one of a couple fires burning in Lincoln County. Another fire in the area of Kimberling Mountain Road off of Highway 18 has prompted level 1, 2, and 3 evacuation notices. Both of those fires combined have burned more than 1,350 acres, while a separate blaze down in Waldport off of Highway 34 has been contained. Over in Tillamook County, the Pike Road fire is now 175 acres in size at last report. Fire officials tell us dozens of homes are threatened right now, but no homes have been lost. Oregon Department of Forestry is reporting minimal containment of that fire. Level 3 evacuation orders are in place for many homes north of Highway 101 near Idaville, northeast to Willowbrook. A shelter is available for evacuees at Tillamook County Fairgrounds, which is also accepting horses, other livestock, and pets. Now, the Tillamook Sheriff's Office says a more detailed report will be posted after daylight hours today when fire crews can evaluate that fire. We'll, of course, bring you that update as it becomes available.